What did kind of stand out, and look, I know it after every game, it's probably really easy to do this, to find the people that played well and those that didn't, and then try to figure out the why and those that didn't. What is rare to happen is to have everybody play great because, as great as Monk was, and I thought Mitchell was good, the bench was really helpful last night. Well, they needed the bench because the starting forwards were off again, and
they weren't off. They were horrible.
Yeah, and there's two different players, and I feel like I've switched what I would be my normal without context, Jay. If you told me, and I'm going to put him as a rookie and a veteran, an established veteran that's had a really good career, to a rookie that we think is going to be great, I would probably be a little bit more worried about the rookie, because just in general, because the veteran's he's fine. He can have a bad game, a bad couple of games. We're talking about Harrison Barnes and Keegan Murray. So let's start with Barnes here first. Scoreless last night. Nothing. 0 for 4. Okay, can you have those games? Yeah, but a bad game should be 8 points for Harrison Barnes, or 6. So now they've played 9 games, Jay, and Harrison Barnes has had single digits in 5 of the 9 games.
Ugh.
His double-digit games are 11, 12, 16, and 20. The 20 came after the first 3 when he was 9, 8, and 4, and I felt like he was super aggressive. It was like, oh, no, I'll show you, and great, you did. In 37 minutes. Last night, to Mike Brown's credit, I didn't think Harrison Barnes had it, and he didn't play from about the 7-minute mark of the second half on. He only played 22 minutes, was 0 for 4. But I don't know. Here's the one that's a killer. 5. Is it 5? Yeah, 5 of 30 from 3 for the season, shooting 16%.
We all know Harrison goes into his lulls during the season, where you'll see him play really well, and then he'll just have a stretch of games where he's just not doing anything. But 5 of 30. I don't think we ain't ever seen that.
And you also know that Harrison Barnes doesn't force shot. Like, he's not taking bad threes. He's taking open threes. 5 of 30. That's a problem. And that now brings in Monk, brings in Mitchell. Now other guys are picking up play. So, again, you're not going to have everybody on it every night. But when you're starting a guy that's been very reliable, probably going into the season, you're thinking, hey, he's in a better role. He doesn't have to be – there were times last year where he was carrying the team for a few games. He doesn't have to be that guy. But, you like the freedom of movement. He played in that kind of offense with the Warriors. You would think he would thrive off a guy like Sabonis and Fox kind of getting theirs. He just hasn't this year. And again, 9 games isn't the whole thing, but that needs to get going.
Yeah, and I don't know what the cure is or how you get Harrison going without taking away shots from other guys. I thought going into the season, the addition of Murray and Herter, I'm like, okay, great. Harrison doesn't have to be the third option because I don't think that's ideal for him. I think you're a really good team if Harrison Barnes is your 4th or 5th option.
Yeah.
Right now, he's not an option. You can't put a number next to him. He's just been that bad. Honestly, the only reason the Kings were in the game last night is because the Warriors played small. Because when you look at the Kings, you just go through the box score and, again, rewatch the game if you really want to look. The forwards in general were awful last night.
Yeah.
Trey Lyles didn't even play 5 minutes.
Right.
Chimezie Metu gave you almost 15, but he was ineffective.
And he was really playing center.
Yeah. Barnes was ineffective. Murray was the forwards were terrible last night. You look at any sort of positive outside of, again, Sabonis giving you 19, 14, and 6, although he didn't shoot very well. But again, they were keying in on him on the defensive side. Every positive attribute for this team came from a guard last night.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Yeah. Fox, Murray, Mitchell, Herter.
Monk, even Terrence Davis.
Yeah.
Like everybody. And the only people that played good were
Monk. Sorry. Yeah.
The only people that played good were guards.
Yes.
And I'm at the point now, and again, this game was kind of, again, a matchup thing, so to speak. But you really have to start looking at just, and again, I think Harrison's going to get a leash here because he is a veteran. And I don't know how long that leash is going to be. I think Trey Lyles has been a better player than Harrison Barnes this year.
Yeah, to this point, and I don't know if that's the switch they'll do, but I still go back to the beginning of the year a little bit curious. I know there's a trust and a thought on what KZ Okpala could do.
Yeah, well, that just went out the door.
And I really go back to the Warriors game the last time they played. Remember, the Warriors had 89 points at half. The Warriors didn't have what did they have going into? They had 79 going into the fourth quarter last night. So the Kings did a much better job defensively, and Curry went off. He went for 47. But the first time they played, Curry had 25 at the half. In the first 4 minutes that Okpala played, and again, that's not a very large size, but he didn't score. But it's like, if that point is to shut down the other, you could play him later in the game. You could play him at any time.
The thing, too, with Okpala is, and this is, I felt the Okpala thing was almost a gimmick in the preseason, and I feel like I've been proven right. Like where he's going to be our defensive stopper.
But he doesn't have to start. He should be playing, right? If he's the defensive stopper.
Just it.
Yeah.
He should be playing.
Right.
If you were going to gimmick start him here, you're obviously saying, hey, the guy can play ball. Dude hasn't even appeared.
Yeah.
And last night would have been perfect because you could have probably played him at the 4.
Mm-hmm.
You could have probably played realistically, when they got super small, you could have played him at the 5.
Yeah, and when they're setting screens and they were switching, so you're trying to get who the Kings had on Curry, off of Curry, and to get the switch they liked. But anyway, how about Keegan Murray? Keegan, to me, has been thought of as super efficient, effective. That efficiency's kind of gone away here lately. Keegan's first 5 games that he was available, 19 points, 16 points, 18 points, 22 points, 12 points. This road trip wasn't a great trip for him. He started with the 12 points. Now he's 7, 3, and 6 last night. 3 of 7, 1 of 6, 2 of 7. I still find him in the right spot. I think he's taking the right shots. I think some shots will fall. Look, there's some speculation, rumors like it's a really tight family. There's some stuff, not any, whatever they got.
Right.
Things happen. Life happens. Maybe that's impacting him. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because I think he's going to be a tremendous player.
Yeah, and it's also his first road trip in the NBA.
Yeah, he just not there, and I don't think Coach Brown forced him out there and let him out way too long. I think he's playing him the right amount of time, and I'm really not that worried about him.
No, it is funny how we are more worried about Harrison than we are Keegan.
And I wouldn't have thought that just in general as a blanket statement, rookie versus veteran. Yeah,
and again, when you talk about Leash, he's a rookie. We knew he's going to have lulls throughout the season. That happens to all NBA rookies, I'm not too concerned about it. Again, especially if there is a family issue going on top of it being his first road trip, got the Miami life for a few nights.
Right.
That could be having some fun with him as well.
Probably not
and,
with him. But
just probably threw him off a little bit. I think the home cooking coming up here soon. I mean, even the Lakers, it's not a home game, obviously, on Friday, but you go Cavs at home, LA, and you're back at home. I think the home stretch will help him.
Yeah, I hope so. And, the other thing, too, is I think probably game plan-wise, Fox is number 1 for opposing teams. Sabonis a close second. Keegan might be the next on, hey, look, I know if I'm an opposing team and you kind of go, hey, if Fox and Sabonis kind of get theirs, and we can stop Murray from getting 17 to 20 or Herter, that a good chance to win. And so he's got to figure that out. He will. But it sure would be nice to get more production from the forwards right now.
You need more, and that's an understatement. Like I said, you can still consider Keegan an option right now just because, again, Harrison's not an option. His play is so bad, it's almost detrimental to the team when he's on the floor right now. And I never thought, again, Harrison goes through his lulls, right? Yeah. But it's never lulls to where you're like, dude, Harrison is detrimental to the team. Right now, he's detrimental to the team while he's on the floor.
And there's other things, and he's not the lockdown defender. He gives effort. He tries. He's
not a good defender.
Right. And he gets, that would be the plus. Okay, he's not scoring, but
maybe he's rebounding or something.
Or limiting the other, matchup.
Last night.
Yeah. And had a lot of minutes, I thought, on Wiggins and different guys too. But
and the rebounding has been so suspect for the Kings already this year. You had Sabonis with 4. You Murray with 7. Malik Monk.
No, Sabonis had 14 yesterday.
Oh, 14. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then, Murray had 7.
But they need others.
Your next leading rebounder is Malik Monk with 6 off the bench. Yeah. That can't be a thing.
Yeah, and then they had the game when Fox had 13. It's good that the guards are rebounding, but you need more from your forwards.
I remember Bobby Jackson, his last year here, would challenge Dante Green and Jason Thompson. It was like a running bet. I remember them saying, I better not out-rebound you guys. Yeah. And they would have a running bet going. I think Bobby won it most of the time. Guards should never be consistently out-rebounding your forwards. It's just unless your guard is 6'10", like Ben Simmons or something.
Right, exactly.
But it's bad.
Well, we've got more on the Kings, certainly more on that controversial finish. We'll hear from Mike Brown, the audio. You need to hear about that. But we've got more to get to, including Odell Beckham Jr. on the 49ers. Really